we were hanging out in the studio and we did a track of theirs where I was kind of fiddling around with delays and stuff and distortion. And then at some point, I can't really say when, but at some point, Dan was like, yo, we should film that shit and just do drums and effects. And at first I was like, kind of skeptical about it. I was like, I don't know that it would interest anybody except me and you, but let's do it anyway because it sounds fun. I mean, who doesn't want to tweak around with a super talented drummer, you know?
Yeah, straight up.
So we kind of, we scheduled a date and I was sure that it's going to be like this really kind of relaxed session that nobody's going to hear about. And then a film crew came because Dan's manager booked, I think 2 or 3 guys to film it. And then I was like, oh, it's that sort of gig. Okay, cool. But I basically was up for kind of goofing around, and the equipment that I brought for the gig was just the first few things that I saw in the studio that I wanted to play around with. I had this old Roland mixer, and I basically just hooked up a bunch of cheap mics into the mixer. The mixer has one output. It's a mono output.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I hooked that up into the sound card.
Oh my God.
And then the mixer has a send, just one send. So I used that send to send it to a bunch of pedals. And I fucked shit up with the pedals. I don't know. That's pretty much it. The only thing I did later was I put a Wolf comp on it. Do you know Wolf comp?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Wolfpack the band. So
yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I was actually just listening to their new record. But yeah.
They rock.
The compressor, yes, they rock. That new song, LAX, is stuck in my head. It's a great track.
It's amazing.
So yeah, I'm familiar with the Wolf compressor, although I am too cheap and I have not bought it yet. So.
Oh, you should buy it, man. It's probably the coolest compressor I have.
Really?
Yeah, it's really unique. Like,
yeah,
you put it on and you're like, oh,
it just adds a lot of dirt, right? It's like and like
weird and dirty and cool, and I don't know. It does a bunch of shit.
Maybe the Black Friday sale will come up quick soon, and we can jump on it.
Yeah, you should get it. So I think that's the only thing I've put on it later. It's like the sound is the Roland mixer getting crunched, and then the pedals, and that's pretty much it. And again, I didn't think anybody would care. I sent the audio to Dan's manager, and I thought in the best possible scenario, it will probably get like 200 people watching it or something. And ever since they started posting those videos, I've been getting like messages from people like, yo, how did you make that sound? What is the sound that's on like those videos? And I gotta say, it's mostly Dan, man.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah.
What pedals were you using?
A tube screamer, and I think it's called AD9, like a analog delay by Ibanez. And I picked them out of just whatever I saw first in the studio.
Sick.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, I think the takeaway from that lesson is that if it interests you, it's probably going to interest somebody else, right? Because there's so many humans that, like, you know, the things that we love are not unique to us. Like, obviously, the culmination of all the things that we love are unique to us. You know,
right?
Probably nobody loves, like, you know, Radiohead and the Flight of the Conchords combination the way I do, but like. I love Radiohead. I'm sure you love like, you know, other people love Radiohead. Like, it's a thing, you know. So if it interests you, someone out there is going to like it. And in the internet, you know, there's like a long tail of fandom, it's and crazy. So you can get real niche, but those people will be obsessed with it, you know.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's a dude in Germany who wrote to us saying that he wants us to come and do a show in the museum in Frankfurt, I think, or somewhere.
Wow.
Where he was like, he basically wanted like a 6-hour gig or something. It didn't happen in the end. I think, I don't know, there were certain issues with with getting the gig, I think, in terms of flying us over there or something. But the weirdest things, I don't know. I'm still kind of shocked that anybody cares about it.
Yeah, man. Well, congrats, because it sounds awesome. And
Thanks.
I'll put links to some more of the stuff you worked on in the show notes, just because I feel like we've mostly talked about that. But you should check out his work, check out Noam's work, and have a listen. And since it is getting late, I'll kind of wrap it up with this question that I ask everybody, and you may have already answered it in the course of the interview. But anyways, I asked this question to every guest. So when you were getting started at the very beginning of your career, was there something you did that maybe you didn't realize was the right thing to do, but it was? Or maybe there was something that you didn't do that maybe you should have, that you just didn't know about, that you'd want to impart on somebody who's kind of just getting started, going down their own journey?
Ooh. Okay, I think maybe the biggest lesson I've learned from doing something is when you're starting out and you're trying to figure this whole audio engineering thing out, you're usually really, really keen on doing free mixes, free recordings, free everything, or like really, really low prices, which is understandable and also obviously acceptable. But the one thing I've learned is try and at least kind of make people acknowledge that if you're doing something for free or if you're doing something for a low price, make sure they understand that it's not the actual price that you're charging. So you could charge somebody like a really low fee for a mix, but you got to say like, yo, this mix is going to cost you $200, but I normally charge, I don't know, like $600. And just saying that sounds dumb, but I feel like it does two major things. One is it puts something in their head that says like, he's taking himself seriously, so I should take him seriously as well. And number two is the next time that guy or a friend of his wants to work with you, he's going to expect the normal price and not like this like super low discount price. And just because you have it in your head that next time you're going to charge $600 and not $200 doesn't mean that it's something that other people have in their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because otherwise you risk getting pigeonholed as the cheap guy, and then
you're always going to be the cheap guy. Like nobody's going to take you for
That's a hard place to get out of.
Yeah.
I
think that everybody at some point has been through that sort of experience.
Yes.
And I think the big thing is to kind of respect yourself and know that like you got to find a way to make it sustainable, Like you can't keep doing really low prices at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's a really good, that's sage wisdom for me as well, and for I'm sure most of the listeners. Is you have to, I guess it's like you have to value yourself. You'd be like, okay, right now I'm still at the beginning. I'm still working. I can hustle a little bit. I could give a good price to work with an artist I really want to work with.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still have to have actual value that down the line. I can make something of myself.
For sure.
Yeah. Wow. No, this has been really, really fun. And I really appreciate you giving your time. And I hope, at some point we can meet up in Tel Aviv. Or you're welcome to my studio at some point in Jerusalem. I don't know how often you come this way, but
never.
Yeah, this is really, really fun. Never. I guess it's gonna have to be in Tel Aviv, which for me is like twice a year.
No, you should come to Pluto. You're more than welcome. I'll show you around. And thanks for having me on the show. I had a fun time.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome, dude. Well, stay safe out there. Stay healthy, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Secret Sonics. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Noam as much as I did. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our other episodes, I'd super appreciate it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review. It really helps the show. And if you could share this episode or your favorite episode with a friend or two, that would also really help the show move forward. In addition to that, you can find us on social media. Just search for Secret Sonics. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And you can email me at secretsonics@gmail.com if you have any comments, feedback, guests you might want to recommend, anything like that. So that's about it for now. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe out there and dig in. Bye-bye.